And here we go. Okay, so going from, oops, sorry guys, I only saved one page. I saved this again. Oops. Hold on. Okay. All right. Let's try this again here. Okay. So, what's the deal? So everyone knows, I know you guys have like done your training, you've been doing it for a while. You know that with Success Club, the reason that Beachbody has this is that it's something that you can use to have your monthly measurable business goals. So if you know that if you're hitting Success Club every single month, your business is moving forward regardless. It's the building block of your business. It's the most important thing when it comes to your business over basically anything else, because everything that we do kind of stems from what Success Club means, which is that you are helping 3 to 5 people a month, which also then means that you are connecting with people, you're reaching out to people, and it sort of has this like, if you work backwards from what it means, it is everything that we're implementing into the business. So that's why Success Clubs is talked about all the time. And all coaches from the newest of the new to the top 10 benefit from it in the same way. So of course, like, you know, your coaches that have been in it for a while, some of your top coaches, you may hear them spouting numbers of Success Club 30 and 50 and whatnot. And it, you know, it may become a little bit easier to them because they've been doing it longer, but everybody started at the same place, which was helping 3 to 5 people a month, every single month. And the good thing about doing that is you're rewarded basically from Beachbody for doing your job. So every month there's Success Club prizes. You earn money towards your Success Club trip. And if you hit Success Club 10, you earn leads, which gets you basically free money. It's commissions from people that just went to the Beachbody website, signed up without a coach, and they get given to you. And sometimes those leads are actual coach leads as well, people that sign up as coaches. So you're benefiting from it just for doing your job. And you're getting all of this stuff just for doing what you would be doing anyway. So that's why it should be your non-negotiable, foundational, most important goal as a coach each month if you want to build a successful business. So yes, your challenge groups are important. Yes, leading your team is important, but Success Club, that's where you need to start. And I think a lot of times people tend to overcomplicate it and they sort of get it in their head. They see the big 0 starting every single month. I know I even get like that too when you see it switch over from the 30th to the 1st. And your points change and you're starting at 0. Everybody starts at 0 every single month, but don't overcomplicate it. It's simple. It's 3 to 5 people every single month. And you guys probably know this, but you get 2 points for challenge packs. You get 1 point for Shakeology home direct order. And the same goes if it's customer or a coach too. Generally, the rule of thumb is that you get only 2 points per customer, or well, 2 points per challenge pack per customer, and then 1 point per Shakeology HD order per customer, with like a max of 3 points. At some point, I've had challengers in the past order like 2 challenge packs from me in different months or a couple months apart, and I've gotten Success Club points from the same customer or same challenger who ordered later on. And I don't know if that's a glitch. I don't know what it is, but it's happened to other people. So if people want to order another challenge pack, I don't ever tell them no, but you're not necessarily guaranteed to get multiple points from the same customer. And then I just wanted to share some numbers with you, because I know for me, whenever Becca would talk to us about her income and stuff like that. Like I always liked hearing that because it sort of gave me push and it gave me hope that like, okay, well, even though this is where I am right now, this is where I could be in a year or whatnot. So like last year, I made $740 in the month of March. And this year I made almost 2,000, which, you know, may or may not be a lot to you guys. To me, it was a lot. That was because my goal every month was $1,000 a month. And to have more than doubled it, my monthly income in just a year. Hold on, my sister. Oh, hold on. We have a baby. Oh, okay. Sorry. Baby. Okay. His name's Luke. All right. Sorry. That was exciting. Anyway, so numbers. So yeah, to know that in just a month, or not a month, but in just a year, my monthly income could more than double. When you look at like the compound effect of how that could be in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. I mean, it's just, there's so much potential to where your income could grow, and there's no ceiling on where it could go. So, and I didn't do anything different. I mean, this was just hitting Success Club every single month. I hit Success Club 10 for 15 months. I've hit Success Club 5 for 18 months because I guess I just thought once I hit 5, when I very first started, I moved on to trying to get Jason's account to 5 when I should have focused on myself. But yeah, so that's just to kind of show you where, if you know where you are right now. I mean, you could maybe be double that next year. You could. There's no cap to where you could go if you put your mind to doing the work. So for me, basically, when I think about inviting, that's kind of like the main part of it. Well, when we think about like the vital behaviors are really what success so boils down to. So I set a goal to hit Success Club by the 15th of every single month. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's really nice because then I can spend the rest of the month kind of building relationships, connecting with people, working on my team. And by doing all of that, that kind of sets you up to have potential people for the next month so that you're not scrambling, because I know if anyone has been there like I have, but it's been like 11:30 on the last day of the month and I'm at like Success Club 4 or whatever. It was one month that I was at Success Club 4 at 10 o'clock and I hit Success Club 10 by midnight because I had 3 people that got challenge packs, but I was like on it and I was stressed out. And the next day I was like, I'm not ever doing that again. So now I just try and make it happen before the 15th so that I don't have to stress out because, that's no fun. We stress enough about other things going on in our lives that this needs to be like the fun part. So I try and post about challenge groups 2 to 3 times a month, keeping in mind that posting about a challenge group is not the same as actually inviting somebody to a challenge group or reaching out and personally inviting them. And if you don't ask them, somebody else will. I know we've heard that a million times, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen it pop up on my Facebook feed, somebody else doing the 21-day fix that I'm like, well, but didn't they see that I've been posting about this 21-day fix? Like, why didn't they ask me if they could like get it from me? It's like, well, I mean, they probably saw me doing it and then they went and found it somewhere else. And so that was just somebody that I lost because I didn't step out of my comfort zone enough to try and connect with them on that level. And I know like as coaches, we are sort of in this, you're in this like group in Facebook where you just see, you're friends with coaches, you follow coaches, you're seeing coaches things all the time. So in our heads, we're thinking this stuff is everywhere. And we're like, well, everyone's just talking about it and it's all this stuff. And I'm just one more coach posting about this, when in reality, you may be the only coach in your one friend's feed that they ever see posts about. And so a lot of people, even though I feel like I'm clear about what it is I do as a coach, I think I still get people, and I've been doing it almost 2 years now. I still get people when I'm reaching out to them on like a private Facebook message saying, So what does that mean? I had somebody saying, well, I literally had invited her to the challenge group and she said, all right, I'm about to buy Pio right now. I'm like buying it this minute. And I had to like write as I'm skimming her message, stop, don't buy anything right now. Cause if you buy it, you're going to be assigned a random coach and it's not going to be me. And then they like understood. But yeah, so people don't always know exactly what it is that we do as a coach. So that's why it's really important to talk about it. You don't have to write a book or a novel about like what coaching is, but I aim for trying to do at least every other day, if not every day, do a post about coaching, and not a coaching invite, but just a post about what it means to be a coach, or how I fit coaching into my life, or how what my coaching, the finances for coaching has done for me, or just like small little things here and there. But keep it simple. So explain the who, the what, and the why that people are bound to ask in all of your various posts that you're doing throughout the month. I mean, if you think about it in the terms of the jab, jab, right hook, is that you're doing these little jabs with these little snippets here and there, and then so people are seeing that consistently, and then you do the hook, which would be like the invite to your challenge group, or the invite to coaching, or you do kind of like your bigger post then so it doesn't just come out of left field where they're like, oh, okay, well, what's this challenge group she's talking about? Like, what does that mean? You could be talking about it throughout the month. If you're talking about I do posts about my challenge groups that aren't inviting, but they're talking about like how much fun we're having in it, or like how awesome one of my challengers is doing, and just like getting really excited about it. So people are kind of like, what's this like party? Like, somebody in one of my success partners team pages had actually gotten, had invited or had not invited someone because she said she felt awkward about it. And then the girl actually reached out to her and said she felt left out because she had been talking about challenge groups and she didn't get an invitation or something. And she said, so the next time I did my invites, I made it sound like it was an invitation to a party. Like I got really excited about it. And I just changed the whole way that I approached it. And I was really excited about it. And in turn, that gets other people really excited about it. Because, I mean, think about it. When you get an invitation in the mail, it's kind of like, ooh, what's this thing? Like, you get excited that someone is thinking of you and wanting you to be a part of what it is that they're doing. So if you think about it in that mindset, instead of like, eesh, I hope I'm not like annoying them. I hope I'm not, they don't think I'm being salesy. Don't think about it like that, like at all. And the other thing that's huge for me is follow-ups. So that could be sending out emails to past challengers about upcoming promotions, or getting them interested in a new program, or maybe you reach out to somebody personally and say like, hey, I see that you've been doing, or I know you've been doing the 21-day fix for like the last 3 months, but I just wanted you to let you know we have this new program, 22-minute hardcore, coming out. It's got a lot of the similar type things with cardio, but it's shorter, kind of talk about stuff like that. Or if somebody really likes dancing or Zumba, you can say, well, we've got this great program size. It might be really fun for you to try, and give them like recommendations. Because a lot of times they get a little overwhelmed, or they don't even know what it is that Beachbody has to offer. And so when you can like really look at what their goals are, or like interests, and come up with like a plan of action or something they might be interested in, then, that's kind of a neat thing for them. And I've had, I've sent out, I kind of will send out like a bulk email, sort of like my monthly newsletter of like upcoming things, or like when the Shakeology Boost came out, or the performance line, or anything new that was coming out that maybe people didn't know about it yet, or anything I got sneak peeks to, or if they were Beachbody on Demand members, then sometimes they'll put in there like we're probably going to get a sneak peek to the Country Heat thing that's coming out in July, Autumn's new program. So they'll put probably like 2 of the workouts on there for us to try, which then I always tell my club members that something like that's coming up, so they can give it a try. And then going back through all my old messages and checking in with people who either ghosted on me or weren't interested at the time. And I know I put this in our team page, but this is my little blurb that I send to everybody. Like, I wanted to touch base with you. I know you had expressed interest in my challenge groups in the past, and I thought maybe now is a better time to give it a try. I'm always looking to join forces with other positive and supportive people. I'd love to have you along for the ride. What I kind of stopped doing, I still have it in there, but I stopped saying, let me know. And I sort of started making it a little more direct or asking a question. Cause you know, when you end something with let me know, you kind of like let people off the hook. Cause they're like, okay, yeah, you know, I might get back with them, but maybe not. So that's what I do. Because the follow-ups are like the biggest things. And honestly, like sometimes people are like in a different mindset 6 months later, or they've watched you and seen your consistency over 6 months or a year, or however long it's been. And then they're like, well, okay, they've stuck it with it this long. They've seen these results. I told them that I was going to do the gym and I've only been 4 times. And, you know, and then they're like, and they still want me. They still are interested in me, instead of coming back with their tail between their legs. Like, okay, I know you invited me like a year ago and I'm ready. You know, I mean, you get a couple people that will do that, but most people won't because they're too embarrassed to ask. So following up with people is huge. And then being a product of the product, of course, we know this is a vital behavior, but you need to be proof that the products work. So try new programs, talk about upcoming releases, talk about sneak peeks on Beachbody On Demand, post your transformation photos or your progress photos, or post a photo and saying like that you're starting the program. Like, here, you're keeping yourself accountable by putting your before pictures out there for everybody to see. If you're not willing to do it, what makes you think that your challengers will? And what will make them want to try something if you're not willing to do it yourself? I make it a point. I get every new program that comes out as a coach. I try all of the products that come out. I got the Performance Line sampler pack so that I could try everything in there. I currently get Energize and Recover. So I'm not getting like the full Performance Line on HD because, you know, I get that and I get 2 bags of Shakeology a month. And so I have to like keep it. I kind of switch it up if we get back to fun Shakeology, we might switch it out for something more on the Performance Line. But yeah, so trying new things and then posting about it a lot is a big thing. And then get uncomfortable. I know, like, when I very first started coaching, when I put up my first, and I think I've told this story to a bunch of you, but when I put up my first transformation picture, I shut my computer and I went and had a glass of wine because I was like so embarrassed. Like, oh my gosh, these people, like, what are people going to say? I can't believe I'm like friends with my boss on Facebook and I'm putting a picture in a sports bra. So, but now I don't even, it was fine and everything was fine. And honestly, when I posted those pictures is when I got like all of the people kind of coming out and like reaching out to me and sending me messages and talking to me about it, you know, at my day job. But getting uncomfortable is only going to push your business further. And I know it's scary, but now I can put those things out there and now I can, I don't know. I got this, I have a quote coming up, but like this, you know, I got out of my own head thinking of like what other people would think and just like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to put it out there because even if it only touches one person, it's one person, you know, is one person whose life might change because I was uncomfortable enough to talk about something, which is, you know, as you all know, Rosie. I mean, Rosie didn't want to do this. And, I kept kind of like bugging her about it. And she finally did. And now, you know, she's lost over 100 pounds. So if I hadn't been like that annoying coach, like, hey, you know, I think this would be really great for you. Who knows where she would be now, you know, or what might happen. And so that could happen with anybody. And you might just be the person that changes their life. And then recognition, that's actually the fourth vital behavior that they just added in for Beachbody, but sharing stories and success of yourself and or your challengers is huge. And that's why I like to make public posts about you guys when you do really good things as coaches, because that is getting your name out there. Your family and your friends are seeing it, and maybe people who are like, okay, what's this coaching thing that they've been doing? And then they see you on a recognition board, and even if they don't completely understand it themselves, you're being recognized for something, and so that just gives you that much more sort of status as a coach. And the same thing goes for challengers. Like I've done a couple posts where I've shown like rockstar challengers with their permission. Or if they don't want you to use their photos, I've done like quotes from challengers, or, when people talk about like their non-scale victories, I might do like highlight 2 or 3 of them and just be really excited about it. Like, we've only been in this a week, and, this is what one of my challengers experienced today for the very first time, and just be really excited about it. People love reading stories. I mean, we've all watched like Biggest Loser and like all of those type of programs before. And like the best parts, like at the end, when you kind of are like hearing their whole story and like seeing what happened throughout the thing. I mean, people love that kind of stuff. So if you can be doing posts about that, you'll get people that are responding and connecting with you on a whole different level than just you posting about your Shakeology or about your workout. People are seeing what you do as a coach in a totally different light. So I just put a couple examples on there, like maybe you do a challenger of the week, do challenger quotes, coaching quotes. I've done sometimes about like, so when I ask you guys if you have any victories as coaches, like maybe what your paycheck paid for that week, or just anything like that. I like to do like public posts about that, and coach of the week, of course. So some ideas, this is kind of a hodgepodge, but just if you feel like you're trying to, okay, well, how can I reach more people? How can I kind of get people interested? Like what's a way to sort of like stir up the dust? You'll see a lot of people that run free groups. So there's and the groups can be about anything. Like most of the time they're like a 5-day or a 7-day group. There's clean eating groups. I have a couple coach friends that do like an ab squat challenge, which basically it's like you're running a mini challenge group for a week. But you're doing like abs and squats. So you might make a graphic at the beginning of the week, like, hey, for the 7 days, this is what our challenge is going to be. And then it's about them like checking in, you're posting every day, that kind of thing. And then I have another coach friend, Vanessa, does like a sugar detox thing. I've had other coaches do them kind of on a book where like everybody in the group, I mean, these are ones that are maybe not free because people buy a book to then be a part of this group, but it's all about like kind of showing people without much investment, if any, what you can do as a coach and what a challenge group is like. And so you can use those 5 or those 7 days to just like really pour your heart into it and get them really excited. And then at the end is where you can kind of talk about your upcoming challenge group that you have. Maybe they get all of the people that were in your clean eating group will get maybe you have like a little $10 Starbucks or Amazon gift card or something that they'll all get if they join your next challenge group, which is then, getting a challenge pack and all of that. So kind of be creative and think about how you can get people, because a lot of people, I know that like their biggest objection is usually like price of things. And so this is a way that you can show them, you can get them to be like, okay, well, it's free, so yeah, I'll do it. And then get them to like sort of to trust you a little bit more, to see that this is for real, and then go possibly try your next challenge group. And then I've had coaches, or I've done it, and then some of my coaches too will share like transformation pictures in the challenge group, like of some of their past challengers, and say like, well, this is these are the programs that they did. This is what this is the potential you have. And then when because people love seeing like those before and after pictures. And so if you can kind of throw in little snippets throughout the free groups of things that are showcasing what your larger groups do, then that's always a good thing too. So I like to try, and if I'm going to run those, I like to run them like early to mid-month so that I have time to then have those challengers get challenge packs before the end of the month to then start the next month's challenge group. And then sharing about your life. Of course, we all do this, but people love following along. Like if you post about an upcoming trip that you're going to be taking, like when I posted about the Success Club trip that was coming up, I did smaller posts leading up to it and throughout the thing so that people knew, and they knew that I'd be going on this trip, and then they knew I'd kind of be posting about it. So it's like when people are going to have a baby and they're posting like their pregnancy pictures, but then nobody ever posts a picture of the baby. And then you're like, well, did they have the baby? Like what, like you want to keep knowing what is going on. So think of your Facebook page kind of like an ongoing TV series. I was going to put soap opera, but I'm like, no, that just, so TV series minus the drama. And then consistently talk about your journey all the time. And remind your followers that you're human. Because if you're always talking about, I do post a lot about my workouts. I do post a lot about like the food that I'm eating. But, the other day I posted about taking my kids out for tacos for like the second night in that week because I didn't want to cook. And I had, chips and whatever. But just show them that just because you're a coach and you lead these healthy groups doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to take time to live your life, because you want people to know that this is very attainable. This is a lifestyle, and this is something that anybody can do. And so by being human and sharing the struggles, or not even necessarily struggles, but just sharing that, hey, look, I can have cake, or have your cake and eat it too. And then connect with them before inviting. So this is something that I get a lot from other like MLMs, like my friends that are in other MLMs. Well, I'll just like randomly get a message like, hey, do you want to try this new like wrap, or do you want to try these nail things? Or they'll add me into groups without asking me. And like, it comes out of nowhere when it's people I haven't talked to in like 10 years or whatever. And so it kind of just like leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And so as coaches, we don't ever want to do that, because that is not, and this is something Carl talked about when we were on the Success Club trip, is that when he was saying when other MLMs are out there at conventions and they're talking about other MLMs, he's like, I don't even want them to mention Beachbody, because we are not even on that level. Like, I don't even want to be associated with the things that those companies do, because we're different. And so, yeah, we're an MLM, but we are truly about helping people change their lives. Like, that's really what this business is all about. So connect before inviting, and let people know that you are interested in them and what their goals are and what their story is, and that you can help them find the best solution to reaching their goals. Oh, this is the quote they're singing. There's a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. So I've kind of, that's kind of like my mantra, been my mantra this year. But personal development. So if you're not doing it, you need to start, because that is one of our vital behaviors as coaches, and it's something that we should be doing every single day. So I listen to the National Wake Up Calls, I listen to podcasts, and I listen to team calls while I'm driving to and from work every single day. And then I just went and got a library card this week. So I'm going to get a bunch of library, like audiobooks, free from the library onto my phone and my iPad, so I can listen to those while I'm working. And while I'm like sitting on the couch with Jason while he's watching TV, I can be like listening to my personal development. But these are great books. If you haven't read them, The Slight Edge, The Compound Effect, You Are Badass, Daring Greatly, that talks a lot about being vulnerable and really sharing the parts of you that you might be afraid to share. But in doing so, that's how you actually end up connecting with a lot more people and really opening up to this whole nother, and I like to talk about, like Amy Silverman, for example. She, had struggled with addiction in the past and with drugs and alcohol. And she talks about that a lot. But if that was something that she was embarrassed about or afraid to share, she may not have reached, she gets a lot of like past addicts or people coming to her that are going through AA. And so she may not have reached any of them had she been too afraid to even talk about it, or just kind of like kept it, well, that was my past life, I'm not even going to bring it up anymore. She talks about it all the time, even though it was like, 8 years ago. So, so that's why I always like say that's one of the most important things. One of the most important things you can do as a coach is be vulnerable. And then start with why is really great, because we all, when you become a coach, that's one of the things, your coach ends up asking you is, well, what's your why and why do you want to be doing this? And really being able to dig deep into why you're doing what you're doing. Because when you can dig and you can find the deep why, that's when you're actually able to be more vulnerable, reach more people, and So those are great. So if you haven't read any of them, or if you've read some of them, read the rest of them. Those are ones that I own and I reread on a regular basis. And then lastly, you can post pictures of your Shakeology and your workouts all day long, but those alone will not move your business forward. And when you feel like things aren't working, just go back to the basic vital behaviors. So if you're not tracking, start tracking. I have a track. I think it's in our team page. If it's not, I'll add it up there. It's just the basic tracker, and it tracks our vitals. So it tracks if you did your workout, your Shakeology, your personal development, and your inviting. And you write down who it is you invited, and inviting can be just like who you connected with that day. But when you have, I did that like in December of the last year. I think I told all of you this, but I'll tell you again. So I did it then. And then in January was when I had like my biggest month of Success Club points. I got 26, which was my highest ever. So, and it was because I really like focused on the vital behaviors, and I really just put a lot of time and effort into doing those 3 things, and that's it. And so be consistent, be vulnerable, be interested, be positive, add value, and lead with your heart. And remember, I like this quote by Amy Poehler, that great people do things before they're ready. Because I know a lot of us say like, well, yeah, but I don't want to post a transformation picture because I'm not at my transformation yet. I'm not ready to put it up there. Like, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Don't think about it. And I promise that you'll have good results from it. So let me stop sharing. And then, sorry, I saw there was chat going on, but I didn't see what it was. You guys can unmute yourself if you want. Let me see what the chat said, if there was any questions. Let me stop the recording.